Hey everybody, DeLongshot Signatures here. Yes, another video. I told you guys I would try and do some of the bigger events and everything like that. Still do videos on that. That way I can continue to save time and do more TTMs and smaller projects and more life stuff. And we had a spectacular start to the month of May with the Sonsio Grand Prix. Went to practice and qualifications. Did not go to the race. I had to work. We were doing a whole bunch of stuff with new facilities with our work and everything. So the guy who normally does the weekend shift is out of town helping out with that. And I agreed that I would cover this weekend for that. But still got to take the day off on Friday, and boy, was it worth it. Beats out the previous record of 137 autographs from, I think, the first year that I did the Grand Prix in a video with 140 autographs this year. Technically 139, one of them is smeared really badly, and I'll go over that. You'll see that here in a little bit. Normally, I go in alphabetical order. I do not have the patience to go through all of these items and put them in alphabetical order. So we're going to start off with trading cards, and then we'll move to photos and hero cards after that. I'll try and tell a couple stories throughout. Don't have a ton about like any individual drivers. It was pretty run of the mill. But as far as going to the event and the people that I saw, that's more of where the stories are. I was able, thankfully, somehow, some way, able to attend all three of the autograph signings that took place. They did it differently this year. They started off with the Indy NXT. So by the time I got to the midway to check out the IndyCar autograph signing, there was probably already 200 people in line. Talked with my buddy Todd, who called me out for not doing videos. So hope you enjoyed this one, bud. And as we were talking, I was like, okay, so when's the NXT one? He's like, oh, that one's first. I was like, how are they going to do that? And he's like, well, they got a line set up over there, but there's no one in it. So I was trying to figure out what other low series were doing autograph signings, if any. And when I came back around, I was like, well, it's close enough to the Indy NXT. I'll just get in line. So I was the fifth person in line there. So I was able to get signed stuff from each driver. I did purchase a few packs of the 2026 Parkside cards, pulled some cards from that to get signed, and then I only forgot one of the cards that I brought to get signed, but I'm not super worried about those sets. But here we have a Salvador de Alba. Some of them were just running with black Sharpies, so some of these are hard to see. This is one of the new 2026 cards. Let's see if I can get a little bit more light. A little bit. We got Lockie Hughes, who in that first race that I watched did a really, really good job defending for most of it. Wasn't able to pull away with the win, but he had a solid race there. And then, as like before, Chip Ganassi Racing doesn't do hero cards. They do their own trading cards. So we got a James Rowe autograph on his. He was the one guy that I forgot to take out my card for, but I've got plenty of James Rowe autographs. I'm not super concerned about that one. We got a Bryce Aaron. They did change up their markers and the surface of their cards this year, which meant that I had no smudges on these ones. Niels Coolin signed 2 for me. Then we got a Josh Pearson. So we're going to skip past the IndyCar session and then talk about the USF, USF Pro, USF 2000, all the different series that they have there. They did have an autograph session. It was very poorly advertised. And so after the IndyCar autograph session, I met with my buddy Matt, who I've talked about many a times on here. And we got to talking about, hey man, have you heard anything? Have you seen anything? Let's take a look around, see if we can't find out if there is or isn't a signing and where it would be at. And a guy starts talking to us. He's like, hey, I overheard you guys talking about this. And I'm looking and I'm like, is this guy like working with Scott McLaughlin and everything? He's got an accent, and he's wearing Scott's Sonsio gear and everything. And he comes back a few minutes later. He's like, "Oh, I found on the schedule where it's at, and or what time it is." He's like, "I'm not sure where it's at. I'll let you know." And then he points at it, and it's about to start in like 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, it's over there, guys." And so whoever that was, I assume from Scott's team, because he said he worked in IndyCar and he was aware of it. Thank you. Really cool for you to do that. So I got to meet a bunch of drivers there, and one guy that was in Indy NXT and then moved back down was this guy, and he was in a pack of cards that I bought. So I took this out and I was like, "Hey, could I have you sign this for me?" Apparently, he didn't know he was in the set. So this could very well be the first one that is signed. Jack William Miller. I've gotten several autographs from him over the years, getting to meet him and his dad and everything. So if this is, in fact, the first one, that's a really cool piece to have. We got Miles Rowe on last year's Parkside. Now we're going to get to some regular IndyCar drivers and then a few more Indy Next guys. We got Kiffin Simpson. As of going in, this was the only thing I had left to get signed by him, and he did stop to sign, so I was like, yeah, might as well. We got a Stingray Rob with a great autograph there. Are those all the singles? I was able to double up on a number of things. I changed my strategy this year. Instead of having multiple cards on each page and taking off drivers and everything, I have multiple cutouts of cardboard, like half sheets, and I'm just taping 2 per side. And so I'll just ask for 2 at a time. It's working out really well so far. I've only had one driver once spot me. But we have, I think there's supposed to be 3 of him. So, no, I think it's just 2 because I didn't get the other one signed. We got 2 from Nolan Siegel. I believe I already have this card signed, but I did not have that one. Then at the Indy Next signing, I did the same thing. I bought some Formula 2 cards that arrived the day before. I ordered them 2+ months in advance, and they arrived the day before. Absolutely crazy, but super happy that they came in. But I bought some Formula 2 Topps Chrome cards, and Juan Manuel Correa signed all 4. I only asked for 2. But he signed these and then flipped the cardboard over, saw that there was 2 more cards of his, and he took the time to sign those. And then I also got a hero card that you'll see here in a bit. We got one from Marcus Armstrong, and this was the first one that I got during the day. He can be kind of tough to sign. He didn't seem super thrilled that I was asking him to sign. But funnily enough, when I went to the Indy Card Exchange event that they had for this year, they had some of these cards and the base cards from last year's Parkside set sitting on the table, and no one knew that those were available to just take because that's where they were pulling the they had raffle tickets out, and if you won a prize, they pulled it off that table. So some people thought that was the prize, and when I went back through the line, I noticed a bunch of those cards had been taken and that it was cards of the guys that were there. So I was like, oh, well, I can grab his vehicle card that I didn't have last year and get that signed. And then I saw one of these. So I was like, okay, well, when I get close enough, I'll grab that and the vintage card. And someone else took the last vintage card. So I purchased this one off of eBay and then finally have that one signed. Then we have, I think, man, did these get mixed up? I don't know. I have 2 here from Renus VK. So I finally got his vehicle card signed and the vintage. We got several from Santino Ferrucci, who was out and about quite a bit. This one is kind of hard to see because he signed it in blue. That was my fault. We got one of his, or I think 2 of his. Yeah, 2 of his NASCAR cards. Got the Parkside Pit Pass. Whatever blue Sharpie I had in the morning was really, really thin. And then I had a second one. I lost the lid to it, so I had to throw it away. And then I got a third one out and then dropped that in my binder of photos. So I didn't have that for like an hour. Got another VK. I knew I got a third one signed at some point, but we got his helmet hardware card. So some of these are going to come out really, really thin. But, you know, still, they're signed. Then wasn't able to get this guy in the garages, but he was in the line that I got for the IndyCar signing. Scott Dixon, and he gave 3 solid autographs compared to his quick signature. So that was really nice. This one took some work, but my buddy Matt and I were watching qualifying, and he had a good run, and he was heading back to the garage. We followed him back, and right before Gasoline Alley, we were able to flag him down, and he stopped to sign for me and a few others. But I got 2 from Mick Schumacher. This is not a new autograph in the collection because I was able to get him to sign when he was in Formula One or after he had left Formula One. I can't remember. But still cool to get these cards signed. He seems like he's going to be tough. I don't know if he loves all of the fanfare that's involved with it. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the month. But at this point, really just like to get his hero card from this year signed, and then anything else would be a bonus. Then we got Dennis Hauger, who his marker was not working super great on this one, but he did sign 2 of the Formula 2 cards. As I was waiting outside the McLaren suite for some of their drivers, ended up getting 2 guys that were not running that weekend. We got Ryan Hunter-Reay on 2. These ones turned out better than some of the ones that I got last year. We got 2 from Scott McLaughlin. Like I said, super thin Sharpie. Somehow, someway, was able to get 3 from Pato O'Ward. One time he signed as he was coming back, I think from qualifying, and he took a different route to get back to the suite, followed him that way. He signed both of them, which I was really surprised to see. And then as he was leaving the suite, I'm guessing heading back to his RV or something, he signed 1 more. So got 3 total from Pato. Got several items from Will Power. Signed 3 cards. And I've noticed he is taking the time to step out and sign and interact with fans more. So with him signing on to Andretti and no longer being with Team Penske, I talked about it with a few other people. This seems like this is going to be his last contract. Wouldn't be shocked if he stays. I think he's signed for 2 years. See him, see that through and everything and enjoy it. But just, he's never been super standoffish and everything, but being at Team Penske, it draws a much larger crowd. But given how popular he is, I was really surprised to see how much he was stepping away to sign. So would not be shocked if he hangs it up here in the next couple of seasons. But very, very happy that he was doing that for everyone. The first interaction I had with him was kind of funny because I saw him on his scooter. I'm like, oh, that's Will. He looks different because he's not wearing the Verizon stuff and everything. And I noticed that another guy had seen him too, and he was getting a die cast out. I got my cards out, and we're both kind of standing waiting for him. And he just kind of peeks his head out from the garage and like points to us and like motions to come that way. And we're like, can we do that? He just nods and like moves his hand like this to, like signify, like, do you guys want me to sign something? And so we got to walk up and he signed for us, which was super cool. So looking forward to getting some more stuff. I do have some more stuff in here actually from him to share. Then we got 6 from last year's 500 winner, Alex Pillow. Got him twice in the garages, and he was in the line for the IndyCar autograph session. Again, very thin blue Sharpies on some of these. I got the Astor Challenge Cup signed. Got his pit pass, and then his really cool looking vintage card. So I'll quickly tell the IndyCar autograph session story, and then we'll get to the hero cards. Went through the Indy NXT line. Again, I was like fifth in line, and then they had, I think it's like IndyCar Fast Pass or IndyCar Experience members or something like that, and the military veterans go first. There weren't that many people who wanted to go to this one, so it was an additional like 5 or 6 people. Didn't hold up the line at all, which was really nice, and got through that. I was like, awesome. I got a bunch of new autographs, a bunch of new signed hero cards, got my card signed and everything. I'm gonna go see my buddy Todd real quick. So I go and see him, and I was like, hey man, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the fact that you are so far up in line. That's great. I'll see you around. Take care. And I stepped away after that. And as I'm walking towards the back of the line to go to another area to figure out, hey, where's this USF signing that I'm hearing about happening, I run into my buddy Tyler, who I have also spoken about on here before. It was Tyler's birthday. So we got to talking for a little bit, and he's telling me some stories about different people he's met and some events that he's going to going forward and everything. And at one point, he's just like, this autograph session's about to start soon. You're already here. Like, you just want to stick around? I was like, okay, I'll do that. So we were probably about 30 or 40 people back at that point. And so I was able to participate in the IndyCar Hero autograph session. And one thing that was different this year that was really nice to see was that the staff members were communicating, the people who were like volunteering at the event and, doing all that stuff, to tell people to hurry up. Because in years past, especially last year, there was way too much time that people were holding up the line, having to tell their story, having to get all their stuff out, having to do this, having to do that. And, as a fellow collector, I understand it. You want to be able to interact with these people. And for some of them, this is the only time that they get to. But for a lot of people who are willing to spend that kind of money, and the people who are first in line are generally people that are resellers. And, when they're pulling out a full page of cards to get signed, that it just takes up time for that. And then others who are telling their life story and whatnot. And it's like, there's a time and a place for that. It is not here. This is a timed autograph signing. This is not a, true meet and greet and whatnot. So we were able to get through the line, and there was still some time left over for more people. So I think more people got to participate this year, which was great. I know that there was a lot of people who didn't, which sucks, because that line was, because they split off into 2 lines. It's one half of the field and then the other half. And God, those lines were massive. So I'm going to pause the video real quick, and then I will show off the photos and hero cards. Alrighty, this video is already about 19 minutes long, so we'll try and get through this a little bit quicker. We will start off with a story. My buddy Matt was hanging out on the upper level of the suites, helping keep an eye out for different drivers and this and that. We were calling each other, texting back and forth. It was funny. And he was like, hey, you should come back to the McLaren garages. They're doing an interview with one of their future drivers. And I heard something when I was standing over there earlier about someone being over there for an interview. I was like, okay, well, this is either Teo Porcher or Leonardo Fornaroli. And it was the latter. So after he was done with his interview, I was able to get him real quick to sign one of my customs. So this is this year's custom, just kept it simple. And I was trying to tell him, hey, thanks for sending back all of the extra stuff when I wrote you last year, but I guess his itinerary had him somewhere else at that time because he just kind of kept moving and just like, yep, all right, see ya. And so I don't think he was trying to be rude or anything, just, had places to be. So next is just going to be a random hodgepodge of different hero cards from different levels, some that I brought, some that were handed to me and everything. There is no rhyme or reason to any of this. So we have an Alessandro De Tullio. As I was waiting around the McLaren garages, I was able to finally get this Tony Kanaan hero card signed. I originally was holding this upside down because the autograph doesn't look that different upside down or not. We got Colin Kaminsky. We got Josh Pearson hero card. Andretti is going with some really small hero cards this year. Lockie Hughes. Got a Marcus Armstrong hero card. He is the only one from the IndyCar autograph session that I did not have anything else for because I had already gotten my vintage card signed earlier in the day. We got Seb Murray. We got 2 from Jordan Missig, who had 2 different ones that he was signing. Excuse me. This is Will Powers hero card from this year. Got that at the IndyCar signing. Then we got 2 from Christian Lundgaard. Wasn't able to get him in the garages. He ended up winning the Sonsio Grand Prix. And so I got one from a prior year and then the one from this year. Which I don't know what they were doing with the editing on these ones. Like, obviously, like, you have these lines to show, like, movement and whatnot. But I don't know. It makes their faces look weird. I don't know what they were doing with the hero card there. We got 2 from Christian Rasmussen. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. So we got this year's and last year's. We got 2 from Caio Collet. Matt grabbed one of these for me a couple years ago. And then I got the one from this year. We got another Will Power. This is one I got in the garages. We got, I think, just 2 hero cards from Renus VK because I am out of all of his older year hero cards. And when I looked on eBay, there weren't any new ones for me to buy that I didn't already have. So just shows how great of a signer he is. And then speaking of new hero cards and getting them signed, I got all the ones that I brought for Marcus Ericsson. He signed all 4, 2 of them at the sit-down autograph session, and then 2 more in the garages. So like this one turned out good. This one could have came out a little bit better. Then we got 4 from Graham Rahal. Ended up grabbing 2 at the sit-down session. And then he signed an additional and then got him after Mick Schumacher's run. His run didn't go super well. And then he went over. Mick did really well, so he was in a decent mood, did some interviews, and then stopped and signed for a few of us. I grabbed 2 of Scott McLaughlin at the sit-down session. Alex Blow was busy talking to someone else, and it was funny. He was saying something. He was like, yeah, no, I'm 27 years old, and blah, 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 this and that, talking to the guy that was in front of him. He's like, no, wait, no, I'm not. I'm 29 years old. He's like, I'm going to be 30 soon. And Scott's like, I think you lied about your age so you could get here faster or something like that. It was funny. We got Christian Cameron. Don't know what series he's in. He's 16, so he's got to be in one of the USF series. Got a Max Garcia. Max Taylor. Matteo Nannini. Oh. Yeah, that reminds me. There was a couple of extra cards that I got signed. I put them in a different pile. Got 2 from Matteo. Got 2 from Enzo Fittipaldi. Got Carson Etter. And then those are cards that I haven't gotten signed. Yeah, I was going to pull those to the side and enter their information for my spreadsheets, but I already took care of that, so don't have to do that now. But we also got his hero card. Then we got Brad Majman, Alexander Kareva, Cal Peter, Lance Nanji, I think, Wesley Gunler, Elias Vignola, Sebastian Garzon, Thomas Nordquist, Frankie Mossman. So you're noticing a lot of like younger drivers here, probably names you've never heard of. Like I said, we did get to attend the USF autograph signing, and yeah, they had about 40 drivers there, which was really cool. I unfortunately didn't get the name of all of them because some of the drivers didn't have hero cards, and so they signed a generic one that was handed out. And I was able to figure out a few of them. I couldn't figure out all of them because some of them just terrible autographs. But it is what it is. We'll see how things go going forward if I can identify them later. Teddy Musella, G3 Argrios. He is George the Third, and he goes by G3 in a way to, I guess, honor his father, who I think passed away. My heritage. Honor my father's memory. Yeah. So he races in his father's memory. G3 is just what he goes by as George the Third. JT Hoskins. Eric Holm. Like I said, some of these autographs not the greatest. We got Juan Manuel Correa's hero card. Stingray signed one of last year's hero cards. He said, "Hey, you need to get yourself one of the new ones." And I was like, "I will later." And then he was at the garage's signing, and I grabbed one, but he had to head in for a meeting before he could sign it, and didn't see him the rest of the day. But that's fine. Stingray is one of the best signers that there is. Timek Kucharczyk? I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. We got Enzo Fittipaldi's hero card, Salvador de Alba's, Jack Beaton. We got Colin Aitken, Ryan Gianetta. I don't even know how this is supposed to be pronounced. I know I've seen it and heard it before. I'm not even going to try. Jack Mornhart, Morhart. We got Wien Boshoff or Vian? I'm not sure. Did get one of David Malukas' hero cards. Again, very thin blue Sharpie. And it's a regular Sharpie. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I used a thin one. But yeah. This is one of those where it's signed by 3 people. Could not tell you who any of them are. I think I figured out the number 21. I couldn't figure out the rest. This one's cool. I do know... I have it written down who all 3 are, but I don't remember exactly. One is Charlie Finelli. I met him years ago at the first Sonsio Grand Prix that I went to. The other one, I couldn't tell you the name right now, but I do have it recorded somewhere. Last one is awesome to be able to add this name to the collection. Very, very young guy. Bright future ahead of him. Top there, not much of an autograph, but Oliver Weldon. And I think Matt said he had one of his dad's helmets on the table, which was cool to see. We got Ricardo Escato, Nicholas Montero, Nicholas Stati. We got Thomas Schrag, Tyke Durst, Leonardo Scorpioni, Michael Costello, Brady Golan, Sebastian Manson. I don't think I could figure this one out either. Now that I think about it, I think I had 4 names I could figure out. We got Miles Rose hero card, and then the rest of these are exclusive Autosport. I don't know if it's the surface of the hero cards or the marker or the combination of the two, because some of them didn't smear that badly, but they were really, really prone to smearing. The ink did not dry well. And so some of these have a little bit of smearing. So like Anthony Martella, not a big autograph, but you can see where some of it came off. Ayrton Kahan, same deal. Not much going on there. You could almost not differentiate the two. Evan Cooley, you can see a couple lines there, not too bad. Gabriel Kahan. Jack Jeffers. This one I thought was going to be worse. Mac Clark. He was the first autograph that we got at the table and everything. I noticed some other people's were getting pretty smeared, so this one was able to stay. This one smeared before I sorted through my hero cards, and then apparently it still hadn't dried by the time I had gotten home. Just typed everything through, sorted everything, and then started going through everything again. So this smeared on the back of one, so it's bad. Joey Brienza. So like most of the shape is still there, but a lot of it smeared. So besides that, it was an excellent day. The rain did end up coming and postponed the qualifying. I was already gone by then. I could tell that the rain was not going to let up at that point. Kept checking the radar, and it would, rain a little bit and then kind of stop, and then rain a little bit and then kind of stop. And then once it really started picking up, I'm like, I had a great day. I don't see too much more happening in the garages, so I'm just gonna call it and head home. And I'm glad I did. Got to enjoy a nice dinner once I got home and everything, and just very happy with how this turned out. So I will not be doing videos for each individual day that I am going, because I am going several more days this year. I'm going tomorrow on Tuesday, opening day. Working Wednesday, taking Thursday off, going to the track, and then my mom's in town, so I'm going to see her afterwards. We're going to get dinner. Friday I'm going, Fast Friday. I'm going to the first day of qualifications, because I had really, really good luck last year with that, so I'm glad that I was able to get someone to cover for the weekend. Will not be able to go Sunday, because I do have to cover that day. I couldn't get anyone to cover. Carb Day, taking off of work, going that day. Legends Day. I know that this is stupid. I have not decided if I am going to the Indy 500 yet. I would like to go to try and get Coach Signetti. I'm not going to be able to, figure out the day before if I can get tickets. I'm going to try on Saturday to get him on Legends Day. We'll see. I don't know for sure. But if he is there, if he is available, if we do bump into him, might have a chance to get his autograph. That would be awesome to add to the football collection and everything. So we'll see how that goes. If not, the rest of the celebrities that show up, I'm sure there'll be some cool ones. I'm sure there might be even some, returning names from last year and everything. But main goal would be Coach Signetti if I do end up going to the 500. But beyond that, I think that's like 7 days total, including the Friday that I just went. So should be another solid year at the 500. I don't know if I'm going to try and do the current set, because I bought 3 packs and I got so many duplicate cards that it kind of made me a little mad to buy them. They look all right. I don't love the design, but they're fine. The surface is good. I'm sure that those will come out nice autographed and everything. So I'll probably buy a couple more packs if I start running low on stuff to get signed, just to keep things fresh, um, and have stuff for drivers as I bump into them. We'll see what I end up deciding on that. But I'm making good progress on last year's set, and then probably won't be able to do much with the first year of the park side, because that's Yuri Vips. And while I wouldn't be shocked if he's here, he is in the IMSA series this year. So my goal is to try and get him when IMSA visits Indianapolis later this year. But that is it for this one. Gosh, this is going to take a really long time to upload and kill my battery, but it'll be worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was great getting to see several friends. I even ran into my old boss, who I haven't seen since 2021, I think, after I quit my job there. Saw her several months later and ran into her again. So that was really weird, but nice to see her. But that is it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Best of luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.